Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story, or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend, this is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. Whew, sorry about the delay. How long have you been waiting? Oh, a couple of weeks. Jeez. Sorry, traffic has been a biznitch. Well, for a couple of years, really. I'm glad you hung in there, though, and waited for me to come pick you up. So buckle up, adjust your headphones, and get ready to cruise these streets out here in the vibrant and beautiful ATL, baby. Well, we haven't had a good ghost-type story in a minute, so I'm excited to have our first writer today get us kicked off with one.
Story number 206. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 1:35 a.m.
Okay, so mine was when I was in college.
Okay.
And my college did like a ghost tour every year for Halloween, and little did I know that this place was for real haunted.
Oh, wow.
And so I went on the ghost tour, and they had somebody come from like this ghost hunter show.
Yep.
Because I guess they'd been to the campus before.
Okay.
So I went on this little tour, and then I end up in a freaking séance.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like a for real séance. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah,
Next thing I know,
crazy.
homeboy like has out like the things to, I don't know, like the little radio things to speak to like the other side.
Right.
And they was talking back. Okay.
Okay, now is this a setup? Did you feel like this was like somebody in the room is like clicking in and screwing with you guys, or did you feel like it was legit?
At first I did, and I was like, oh shit, this is real.
Whoa.
Like, this is super real. It was really crazy. Like we went to like the hauntest part on campus. And I was too scared to leave because there was one part he was like, okay, if anybody's uncomfortable, y'all can just leave. And nobody left.
Yeah, because everybody's like terrified, like we need to stay together so this thing doesn't come get us.
Right. I was so freaking scared. Oh my gosh. So
wow.
I stayed.
Yep.
And he's like talking to the other side. Right. And they're answering back 100%. And then the seance is over. Go back to my apartment, which is like on campus.
Okay.
And I shit you not, that night something was in my room.
Oh boy.
And I was falling asleep, and it was like some like figure. I don't know if it was human. I have no clue.
Right.
I still, till this day, I still don't know.
Right.
And it was in my room. And I just remember I was falling asleep, and I noticed it in the corner. It turned around and looked at me, and it walked over and grabbed my face. And I remembered that its hands were so hot.
So not cold.
Not cold, but its hands were really, really hot.
What?
And I didn't know what to do. I just I screamed. Nobody heard me, right? And I felt like the moment lasted for so long, but then all of a sudden it just disappeared. So, I shoot up out of the bed, I'm running through the apartment trying to figure out is there something what's going on? Am I tripping right now?
Right, yeah.
What was that, right?
Yeah.
And then I just had to come to terms with that shit was real.
Wow.
It was real. So then, well, that particular night, my roommate was not there. She was at her boyfriend's apartment.
Okay.
And I told her about it, and she had purposefully stayed like the next few nights. A few nights later, we go to
she
bed.
stayed with you or with the boyfriend for a few more nights?
She stayed in our apartment.
Okay, so you weren't alone.
Yeah, so I wasn't alone because I was so creeped out. I was like, yo, I'm about to leave.
Right, yeah, no joke. Yeah, no joke.
I'm about to go back home. The next few nights, a few nights later, she stays.
Okay.
Everything's normal. She wakes up and she goes to the bathroom to get ready for class.
Yeah.
I'm laying down in my bed, but I'm facing the wall.
Okay.
Right? And I know I heard her getting ready. Right?
Yes.
But next thing you know, the room got really cold. And my pillow sunk in.
No.
Really deep. Like it sunk in like when someone lays on the bed next to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And then like all of a sudden like I couldn't breathe. Oh. And I was like in my head, I was like, what is going on? Like, what is this? I'm freaking out. Like I can't breathe. What is this?
Yeah. And
then it was like the whole side of the bed next to me sunk in, like there was a body there.
What?
I wish I could make this up.
No, it's so freaky. It sounds like you're making it up. But
know.
You didn't know. Like you didn't know when you got in my car. Of course, you were going to tell me a story.
No, I didn't know at all. Yeah,
and
this is something like I never really talk about.
Of course, yeah. Everybody's going to think you're nuts.
I know. So then, like, it just disappeared. The moment literally disappeared. Like, it happened.
Okay.
And I felt like the moment lasted for so long.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared. Wow. So then my roommate comes out of the bathroom, and I was like, yo. Yeah. At first I was like, am I tripping?
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, girl, what was you doing in my bed? And she's like, why would I be in your bed? I was like, girl, stop. You were in my bed.
You're like, please tell me you were in my bed.
Yeah. She's like, why would I be in your bed? Stop. That's so stupid. I was like, no. You were in the bed with me. You laid down. Like, why were you in the bed? What are you doing?
Right.
She's like, why do you keep saying this to me? Why would I get in your bed? Like, what are you talking about? And when I told her, I was like, listen, I thought it was you. I felt someone lay in the bed with me. And she's like, I really have no point to lay in the bed with you.
Yeah.
And then I just like sat up and I was like, okay, so it wasn't her. There's no one else here. I don't know who that could have been.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
that's nuts. Now, after that, did you have more experiences, or was it just those two and then that was it?
No, it was just those two and that was it. After that damn séance that I went to.
Yeah, which obviously that's 100% what connected you to that, which is why I try to stay away from that stuff. It's terrifying. Right, yeah. But tell me, like, was there something that you did? Was there like a prayer or like a saging, or what? Did you do anything?
I don't know. Afterwards, like, I called my parents, right? And they were like, first of all, why would you go to a séance? That's crazy. Of course,
yeah.
Like, who does that?
Exactly.
Right? And then they were like, you know what? You need to go to bed with the Bible up under your pillow. And I thought like it was like, okay, that's crazy.
Right.
But I did it and it stopped.
So the Bible under the pillow worked.
Yeah, after that second time.
Yeah, I was going to say I've had probably like half a dozen ghost stories that riders have told me, and I remember at least one other girl, her grandma told her to put a Bible under her bed or by her bed, and that stopped all the activity. So that's crazy.
Yeah, trust me, it 100% works.
Wow.
I have not since then experienced anything like that in my life. Before then, never anything like that in my life.
So it's just those two times.
Two times.
Then it was done.
And I never want that again.
No, God, no.
I'm done.
Wow.
I'm tired.
But you have but at least you have like a crazy cool story. Wow.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, I need to back up.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. What are your thoughts on seances? Do you think that people are really able to communicate with folks that have passed on from this dimension? Or do you think it's just all fake? If you do think we can communicate with folks that are no longer living in our dimension, Do you think there are right and wrong ways to interact with them? Or do you think that it is no bueno to even try to connect with them? This is one of those subjects where it would be really fun to have a group discussion. Maybe someday we can figure out how to do that. Very glad for her sake, the Bible was able to ward the spirits off, though, and that she is no longer being tormented. Our next writer, while talking about some heavy topics, does so with hope and joy.
Story number 207. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 8:32 p.m.
Yeah, you're live.
So, the first one I want to do is hardship, because everyone can relate to hardship.
Absolutely.
So, like, you see me. What's your name again? I'm sorry, I didn't even look at the app. Tell me
You're
your
good.
name.
I'm JC.
JC. All right, JC. So, you see how I look, right? Like,
You look lovely.
oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I want to talk about is, like, depression, because a lot of
yeah.
people suffer with depression.
Yes.
And it's just it's not as overlooked as fuck the gum. Sorry, can we curse?
You can curse, you
I'm
can talk about
sorry.
drugs, sex, whatever
Okay.
you want to talk about. It's an adult podcast.
It's not as overlooked as it is now as it used to be.
That's right.
But I used to be a self-mutilator. I used to cut.
Oh, wow.
And that was years ago. I haven't done it anymore. I got therapy for it. You know,
thank God.
I'm good. I'm healed with it. The point is that I want to make is that anyone that's out there that's going through any kind of depression, especially if you're cutting yourself, just know there is hope and you can overcome it and you can be better and feel good every day.
Wow.
Okay?
One second before I let you move on from that.
What's up?
Tell me a little bit about your process. And you did say therapy.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Like, tell me the whole package of how you moved from being in that cutting, depressed state to where you are now.
For me, I just had to really figure out what made me feel good.
Okay.
And I had to do that by myself. So not what makes me feel good when I'm with this person, what made me feel good when I'm by myself. So that when that person is not there, I'm not dependent on them and depressed. You know what I mean? So like,
finding your own identity.
Finding your own identity, whatever it is, whether it's yoga, dancing, painting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Find what makes you feel good. So when you are depressed, you revert to what makes you feel good. And the idea is to find something that makes you feel good. Of course, that's not self-sabotaging, because things can feel good for the moment, but they're still not benefiting you.
Right,
in any way.
Shooting heroin in your veins is not a good
exactly.
plan. All right.
So cool.
Got it. Okay,
all right.
Amazing.
So now let's switch to something funny. JC, I used to drive for Uber and Lyft.
Nice.
For like 3 years, part-time, alongside my full-time job. And it was the most interesting thing ever. I started with Lyft first, and then I went to Uber. Literally 3 years, had over 10,000 rides between them both. I'm serious. So I was like, I gotta tell them this, because you wouldn't have guessed this.
That's crazy.
So I think this is really cool that you're doing this.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna give you a story that I remember picking up this guy one time.
Yeah.
And he was cool. He was in the front seat, and he was so drunk that this ass made me drive to a location. And when I get there, I'm like, hey, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
At this time, I was kind of fairly new into it. I was like maybe a year into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, so-and-so, you're here. And he's like, I don't live here. Who lives here? And I'm like, this is the address. You put it into the app. He's like, I don't live here. He calls me by my name. I don't live here, Ruth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, where do you live? So drunk, so fucking drunk. And I'm just like, where are your friends? And I was like, you know what? Give me your wallet.
Yeah.
And then he sized me up like I was trying to rob him.
Aww.
And I was like, I'm not going to rob you. Just give me your wallet.
Yeah.
He gave it to me, found out his address. Dude ended up living like 50 minutes away from where he put in.
Oh,
okay.
You said 50 as in 50.
As in 50. It's, I didn't trip, you know how it works. I still got paid for going the wrong way, whatever.
Yep.
But that was one funny story.
Wow.
I had a lot of funny stories, but I thought that one was like,
Yeah. Gosh,
So,
and you're a good and that's what good rideshare people need to do when you're dealing with the drunk people. But some of the rideshare people, if you're on like the closed group on Facebook, they're the biggest
I'm still in the groups. I am.
They're the biggest bunch of whiners I've ever seen in my
and a
life.
lot of them have no idea what customer service is.
No.
There's like a Facebook group for Uber and Lyft drivers.
Yeah.
And I'm still in it even though I don't drive anymore. It's just interesting to see. But yeah.
I'll sometimes just read them and I'm just like, how you guys get through life.
But it is very informative, especially when I first started. That's how I ended up enjoying it, because you get to, you find out certain things.
Oh, there's a lot of great stuff to it.
It's super important just to be kept in the loop.
Yes.
How long did you start driving? How long have you been driving for?
I drove initially for 6 months in 2015 to 2016, so sort of end of 15 and beginning of 16.
And then you hopped back on recently.
Then I hopped back on last 2020 in May is when I started.
You hopped back on right in the midst of the pandemic.
Well, it's because my gig and my thing I'd been doing had gone away, and so it's like, time to start all over again.
I got you. Yeah. But so those are my two stories. This is really cool that you're doing this, JC. This is interesting as shit.
Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, as you know, you sound great. But as you know, you get amazing stories, and so it's kind of like, let's share this experience with other people who are not, rideshare people. So
rideshare is an interesting world. People are really fucking interesting and crazy and weird and cool and amazing and all of it. But you meet the whole shebang doing this Uber Lyft thing, and you get to see all over Georgia. Georgia's huge. I don't know how far this has taken you before, but
I try not to really leave the greater Atlanta area. So so obviously some of the suburbs and whatnot that go around it, but I really do. Right. If I go to like Lawrenceville or to Ellenwood and the south end of it or whatever, I shut it off and drive back into the center and start over. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But that's just my little clip. But thank you, Ruth. You're amazing. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, JC. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, doing rideshare is not for the faint of heart, and it isn't necessarily a great moneymaker, but it is a great way to travel all over the city and meet some really cool people along the way. Our next story is one of the shortest we've had, but it's both funny and foul.
Story number 208. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 9:22 p.m.
All right, so I'm at the grocery store grabbing a few things, and I'm standing in line at the grocery store, and there's a very large lady standing behind me in a mumu. And so, I'm just minding my own business. The line starts to move, and as she moves up, an entire ham falls out of her mumu and rolls across the grocery store floor. And everybody freezes and looks at her. Everybody turns around and looks at her at the same time, and she goes, "Who just threw that ham at me?"
I love that so much. Wow, she has like improv chops in addition to being, a little klepto.
Yeah, pretty hilarious. Not the response I expected, but that's a pretty good cover, though. What? This didn't fall out of my mumu. Somebody just threw a ham at me.
Dude, if I ever steal a ham, I'm going with that for sure if it falls out. That's amazing.
All right.
Well, thank you, Miss M, for the story. That's fantastic.
I love that story. It's so funny.
That is a beautiful story. Great example of a story told succinctly and well. Bravo. I love stories where old meets new, and religious tradition comes up against a more progressive way of living. It makes for some awkward but hilarious times.
Story number 209. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 9:23 p.m.
I am an American Muslim, female.
Okay. Wow.
30 and expired, according to my mother. I expired at the age of 25. And she was here recently for the last 2 weeks.
Okay, and just real quick, just for someone who might not know, when you're expired, what does that mean?
It means that you're not, like, pretty much, like, I'm single.
Yeah, okay.
And, like, Arab men want 25 or younger.
Okay.
So,
I
like,
feel like doing a Borat bit right now, but I'm totally not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it.
So she reminds me at least 7 times a day that I'm 30 and single and I don't have kids, and it's lovely. You know, I love it. It's great.
Right.
So
does amazing things for self-esteem.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I highly recommend.
Right.
So she was here for 2 weeks and she did some snooping.
Okay.
And my birth control comes monthly. Every 3 months they send me like a 3-month supply.
Right.
But they like to send me like free gifts.
Okay.
So they sent me like a year supply of female condoms.
Jesus.
Didn't even know these were a thing.
Yeah.
And also like emergency contraceptives.
Oh.
So she did
like the morning after pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't throw it out. I felt like I could utilize this at some point,
Right,
you know?
absolutely.
And these are kind of pricey, and I got it for
Very.
free. Why would I throw it out? I don't like to waste.
Yeah.
So she did some snooping,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom is an acupuncturist, and she's very holistic. She's into like cupping and all natural remedies.
Yeah.
So we're driving, and we're in Atlanta traffic, and I know she snooped, and she found some stuff.
Right.
And she's like, I gotta ask you something. And I'm like, what? She's like, do you have an overactive sex life? And I'm like, and keep in mind, I'm Muslim. Like, I'm a virgin, okay?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I'm a virgin. My dad still thinks I haven't gotten my period yet.
Yeah.
You know.
All the stuff.
All the stuff. And so I was like, Mom, what? She's like, well, I just want to diagnose you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're so irritable. And I was like, okay. And she's like, listen, I know you're not a virgin. This is what we're going to do. I told your grandparents there's the surgery we can do to make you a virgin again.
The hymen thing where you put it back in place?
Yeah, and your grandpa is going to pay for it. And I was like, bitch, you gotta leave. Like, it is time for you to go. Yeah, and so that's why we're going out tonight, because I just dealt with that for the last 2 weeks. So.
God bless you. Whew. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
but very comedic, honestly.
No, yeah.
It really is. You can't make this up.
You can't make that stuff up.
No.
And you know what you need to do at some point in your life? You need to turn it into a stand-up show. People would, like, it's hilarious and it's, like, odd. And it's also, like, we all connect, even though, like, you know, our parents may not say the exact same stuff.
I think we all deal with overbearing parents.
Right, yeah. So that's amazing. Oh, my gosh.
She's crazy. And now I got to go see my grandparents for my cousin's wedding, and it's going to be very awkward. Very, very awkward.
It's like, where's that hymen, Grandpa? Come on.
Right?
Cough it up.
Like, hey, you want the money now? How are we doing this? Did you find a doctor? Like, oh, God bless. Seriously. But yeah, that's my story.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
That's amazing. Here's the deal. If you were raised in a religious environment, regardless of which brand, you can relate. And honestly, Mom's worrying is coming from a place of love. But I also understand our heroine's need to go grab a drink after this ordeal. Sometimes tragedy crushes a family and they dissolve like sugar into hot tea. Other times it brings them closer together.
Story number 210. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 9:54 p.m.
So my story is, I'm one of 3 brothers.
Nice.
And I've always loved that. I love being one of 4 boys.
Yeah.
And I always appreciated my mother for being for having 4 boys.
Yeah.
Because that's not easy.
No, God no.
Yeah, so my oldest brother passed away from drug addiction.
Oh my God.
And he killed himself through overdose, not intentionally.
Okay, unintentional.
And so he passed away 3 years ago, coming up on April 13th.
Dang, bro.
So my family has dealt with that for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that after these 3 years, my family is closer this year than they have ever been in their whole entire life.
Wow.
And so I love my oldest brother. So it was my oldest brother that happened to him.
Right, yeah.
And I love him for that, being my oldest brother.
Yeah.
But what happened is what happened. But what's crazier that happened is that it has brought our family closer to each other because of that.
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. And I think that this happening, maybe it was to bring our family closer. And I don't think we were ever far apart.
Right.
But I think that because of this, it made us realize the position we were in our family, and you never know what someone is dealing with.
True. That is so true.
At any point in their life.
Yeah.
And it makes you reach out more.
Yeah, man.
And I can say that, like my older brother Drew, and between me and my oldest brother who passed away 3 years ago. So I text him, like, we're not very close at all. Like, not very close at all. And a week ago, I texted him about, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? So, like, he has a job in Memphis. And so he went to go see this artist tonight.
Yeah.
So he just texted me tonight, like, hey, go see this artist. And he's like, hey, go see this artist. You'll love her. And, like, that's all he said. And so I bought the tickets.
Just from that?
Just from that.
Wow.
And they're $100 each.
Whoa.
And so money meant nothing to me in that moment. The fact that he texted me to go see this artist, knowing that we don't text or talk at all, meant everything to me. And so I think, I mean, it sounds terrible to say, I think my brother passing away brought us closer, and I thank him for that, because he would never have texted me to do that at all in any situation. So thank you, Camp. I love you, and that's it. That's all I got.
Wow. No, that's amazing. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, the power of family realizing that, hey, we're all we got, man. That's beautiful. Thank you, Mr. R, so much for sharing your story. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I hope these brothers and family remain close and strong. Make the loss count. There's a wonderful concept called delayed gratification, and it basically says if you're willing to put off having what you want right now, that it will pay dividends in the future.
Story number 211. Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, 10:21 p.m.
Okay, it started back in 2011.
Yeah.
Me and a group of friends were trying to raise money with our church to go to Budapest, Hungary on a mission trip.
Nice.
And this is what led me to believe in God, you feel me? Even though I was going to the church at the time, I still wasn't a huge 100% believer.
Interesting. Were you just going because, like, mom told you to go, or?
Because two of the guys that I met at the church, the same grade with me, I met them during football, and they always went since freshman year, and I started going my junior year.
Yeah.
And so they got me convinced and got me going because of the activities they did outside of that and stuff like that, and then which led me to see more into the church and the activities and things they're involved in.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so that's brilliant. I'm just trying to get a context for what got you going in the first place.
Yeah, that's what got me going. So like I was saying, like back in like 2011, we all had to raise, I think it's about $2,000 to $3,000 a person to go overseas to Budapest.
Oh yeah.
So it was like me and my other guys. We were like the black guys of the group. We were all picked to keep doing, like, we're raking yards, hours.
Okay.
Like hours, while the other guys of the group were just babysitting or just getting money donated, and we're sitting there looking like,
oh, wow.
Why do we have to keep working so hard? Like, why are we the only ones get picked? Bag and leaves day after day. I'm talking about hours.
Wow.
3 to 6 hours every day.
Wow.
On our way. We had group events that we all did together to help raise money, but there were times, like other events, where we were just raking, or they would get babysitting, or they get money donated, or just like little small easy charity things.
Yep.
So I mean, it comes time, we get ready, we're heading overseas, and we get there, we landed, and it's just like, okay, hey guys, this is what's going on. We're splitting up to groups.
Yeah.
The guys like me and my friends who we did the Reiki, and they put all of us in the football group.
Okay.
Everybody else who did the babysit, they were in drama and baseball group. So every day we had to do like different activities. We were just assigned to that group for the 10 days that we were there. So like the next day, we're waking up at 12. Everyone's gone except for my group, the guys who are in the football.
Okay.
We're at 12, everyone's gone. So we're going around shopping, we're sightseeing. Oh, this is amazing. We go meet up with teams to help practice like football and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really training. We were just, hey, I pick you, I pick you, I pick you. We're just drawing up plays and just making things up as we go. We're going to McDonald's, Burger King, different restaurants, malls. We would go back home. Everyone's, they're not back yet. It's just the adults. The kids are still out, still doing their camps. I was like, that's a long day. Maybe it's just today. We go the next day, wake up, 12 p.m., everyone's gone, all the kids, the adults. Just us, the football guys. We're still there, going back out shopping to another football team. The leader of my group who came with us, he liked ice cream a lot.
Yeah.
He does a lot of youth football trips over there. He does mission works overseas in different areas. He was already accustomed to it, and he loved their ice cream because it was all organic and really, really good for you.
Yeah.
So every time we saw any ice cream place, we always stopped. We always stopped. Our tour guide, like we sometimes like we had to like fight to pay for stuff because he paid for everything. He made sure that everything we had for we paid. So it goes on the third day. We wake up and everyone's gone again. Just 12 p.m. I'm like, hey, where's everyone going? I mean, oh yeah, they're working 12-hour days. They eating sack lunches. They're not doing what you guys are doing. Like, they're different. We got home early the third day, so we're talking to them. Mm-hmm. Like we stayed late so we could talk to them. They're telling them how it's rough. They're in the sun every day. They don't get the moment. Like they haven't seen no type of sightseeing or anything. Like they promised them at the end of the week they can go one day.
Wow.
And I was just sitting here. I was like, oh man. There must be a God. This is like we work so hard, and I'm just sitting here now and I doubt it, and it's just like someone it reminded me of someone told me just because you don't see him there doesn't mean he's not there.
Yeah.
Like he probably has something bigger in store for you. You don't just give up right then and there. Just wait.
Wow.
Have faith in it, and it's just like to go overseas and like. We didn't have to sweat. We're going to different football teams they have over there, splitting them up, drawing up plays, flea flickers, all type of crap.
Wow.
We're just making up stuff. It was so eating great every day. I'm talking about they're eating sack lunches and everything, and it's just like, oh man,
wow,
it was amazing. It was just like,
that's...
I'm glad I raked all them yards. I was just like, man, I'm really glad. Like, oh man, we got the hard work out of the way because they're over there and telling us them. The kids getting tan, they're getting a lot darker, and then it's like the mosquitoes over there are ridiculous.
Really?
We had time to go to different malls and get like the actual stuff because our off that we have here, we went over there, it was just like juiced in them. They loved it.
Wow.
So we had to go get some actual like their mosquito repellent, and the other kids didn't have a chance to get that. I think they didn't get it till like day 4th. So they were able to get mosquito repellent. And
so they were like eating up.
Yeah, we got amazed. They were surprised. Like after we told them what we were doing, they were jealous.
That's so cool. Which I think is kind of like not only just to like you said, like I love your life lesson from it is like God sees like even your hard work when it feels like, you know, he's not paying attention, then he rewards you. But I feel like there's also just like that's sort of life too, right? It's like sometimes, you know, it's like you see the kids that are like putting their head down, doing their homework, they're working a job, like their life's not that fun. And, you know, everybody else is out partying and doing this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden, you know, smash cut to 10 years down the road, that guy or gal has their life together. They're doing well. And the people that partied and didn't pay any attention to anything, now they're suffering.
Yes,
right? In a weird way. So there's
that.
like a life lesson, I feel like, in that as well. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I just feel like that was a good life lesson.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying in that.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell me, like, what was like one of your favorite things, you know, this is 10 years on from when you went to Budapest, but like what's some of the things you learned or felt or saw there that have just stayed with you about the country itself?
How much they try to adapt to the culture we hear. You see a lot of stuff here that we do, and then over there that it's just like here we consider just like I can do this any day.
Yeah.
Over there they take that really like it's amazing, just like little things. You know, we can go into a store and buy your favorite team's jersey. Mm-hmm. Over there is not much of a hassle, but it's not just like as carefree as what we're doing right here.
Got it.
And how we can just go see or like travel throughout the different states and see the teams that we want. And it's hard to explain what I'm saying, but it's just the little things that we take for granted over here.
Yeah.
It's just like they're really much more appreciative over there of.
That makes sense. Yeah, because it's so much more difficult for them to get access to. They're really grateful for it. That's cool. Yeah, and I think that's actually one of the reasons why young people should really travel is because you don't know how good you have it until you travel, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing. Well, man, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate your story so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share it.
Yes, sir. Such a good life experience on multiple levels for this young man. To feel that God sees you in the hard times and to get to see a faraway part of the world and learn the big lessons, that's something that I wish every young person could experience. Some stories are so crazy that you kind of go speechless. This is one of those stories.
Story number 212. Sunday, April 4th, 2021, 12:49 a.m.
When I was a junior in high school,
Okay.
I went to a school that was kind of bad a little bit.
Okay.
I am from Chicago.
Chi-Town. Gotta love the Chi-Town, yeah.
So, at my school,
Now, this is a school in Chicago or here in Atlanta?
school in Chicago.
Okay.
So at my school, there was a lunch lady, right?
Yeah.
And that earlier that morning, they found her having sex with 3 students in her car.
Wait. Are you freaking kidding me?
So serious.
Oh my God.
And here's come the crazy part.
That's not the crazy part?
No, that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is, after she got out of jail, she ended up dating one of the students.
Oh my God.
That's my crazy moment.
That is unbelievable. So, like, you saw this, you were, like, literally getting lunch trays from this lady or whatever.
Literally getting lunch trays from this lady every day. Speak to her every day.
Did you ever suspect that she was getting it on with, I'm assuming, were they all guys?
Yeah.
That 3,
It was actually 4, but one of them was legal.
Oh my, okay, wait. I have so many questions. First of all, how many guys were in her car with her at the time?
4.
There was 5 freaking people at once in the car?
In the van.
In the van.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing 5 high schoolers at once in her van?
Yes. Well, 4.
4. Okay, I'm gonna say there's 5 of them. Okay, yeah, thank you for correcting me. Okay, but 4 dudes. That is nuts. I don't even know how, like, what is the logistics of that? How do you even?
I have no idea.
That is. Did you know any of the guys?
I actually did.
What did
I actually knew all of them.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are gonna shoot me or hate me. That's totally fine. I get as a young guy, like, you know, especially if an older, experienced lady is
with kids.
With kids, oh my God, that's horrifying. I could see though, as a young guy, like, you've got way more testosterone than you have brains. What did they say? Like, what drew them to this lady? How did they get involved with her? Like, what does that conversation even go like to get started on this?
She asked them.
What?
Yes, she asked them.
Oh my God. And I mean, obviously she's got to know that if she's hitting on underage guys, she's gonna go to jail.
She didn't think she was gonna get caught.
She thought so. Okay, so none of these 4 guys told on her that how did they get? But she was doing it in the freaking parking lot of the school.
Mm-hmm. So at my school, we have a security person. We have securities all around.
Yeah.
But there we have one security that stays in the camera room. So they saw her leaving out the building with all 4 of the guys. And they thought it was weird because they're not related.
Right.
So they saw them go in her car. And so some of the administrators went outside and saw them in the car.
Oh my! I'm so fascinated. Okay, and you said she had kids herself. Like, how old were her kids?
About like 5, 6.
Okay.
And they was boys.
That is mildly horrifying. Okay. And oh my God, I don't even. So okay, so tell me, like, what did the boys tell you? Like, what was their takeaway? It was like, oh, this was fun, or this was weird, or this was cool, or like, what did they tell you?
They didn't really think nothing of it. They just wanted to do it. Because
Right.
she was older, and plus she already worked at the school.
Yeah.
So
What did she look like, if I can ask? I mean, like, describe her. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like some
short, heavy-set lady.
short, heavy-set lady? Okay, so it wasn't even like she was like a supermodel or something.
No.
Wow. Oh my God. That's crazy, girl.
I know.
That's like legit. Like, I don't even know what to do with my brain right now. That is so freaking crazy. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you officially win for the craziest story of the week. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Miss K, for sharing that story and making us all feel a little weird. And like, whatever we're going through right now is nothing on that level. That's super messed up.
Yeah. That's one of the craziest stories I ever heard.
That is. Yeah. No, you, man, I can't believe this person didn't make like national news, or they probably did.
Oh, no, she made the news.
Okay.
Yeah, she most definitely made the news.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then, okay, and you said that one of the guys
Is dating her.
So how
Yes.
long was she in jail for?
About, I would say like 8 months.
8 months is all she got for doing 3 underage dudes? Like, what? Okay. Well,
I guess because it was consensual a little bit.
well, yeah. Of course it was consensual. I mean, it's, yeah, okay. But still, the underage thing is, I'm shocked that they didn't hit her a little harder on that one. But so now he is, like, is he planning on, like, spending his life with this lady?
I have no idea. I haven't talked to him since I moved over here.
Because, you know, like, he's going to be like the other dudes that were in the van with her and him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he already know, like, this woman's a freak. Like, he's, wow. All right. Well, best of luck to him, I guess. But anyways, wow. Thank you so much, Miss K.
Not a problem.
I genuinely hope that this young lady is misremembering part of the story, because I can't wrap my head around 4 guys, 3 of them underage, and a large lunch lady all piled into a van having sex while on school grounds. I mean, what the Okay, so we need something of a palate cleanser after that disturbing tale. On our final run for this evening, I think our next young man delivers, and it's even in the sexual genre.
Story number 213. Monday, April 5th, 2021, 9:02 p.m.
I was like 16.
Yes, sir.
And I was with like my girl now, and before I was with her though, like originally I was just trying to like get with her, but she wasn't really messing with me like that. She only saw me really like as a friend.
Okay, yeah. Friend zoned.
Yeah, she kind of like friend zoned me, and so I ended up eventually, not intentionally, but I ended up dating her best friend.
Uh-oh.
And once she saw me dating her best friend, she was like, "Oh, okay, now I want him."
Of course.
So
genius.
For like, once that happened, like it was Valentine's Day one day, and they was both at my house, and you know things was about to go down.
Yeah.
With both of them.
Oh, snap.
But it didn't end up happening.
Oh, you said it did not end up happening.
Did not end up happening.
Okay.
But I ended up like having 2 girlfriends after that day.
Wait, what?
I had 2 girlfriends for like 3 months.
And they both knew.
They didn't know about each other. Only one of them knew about each other.
Oh, snap. Okay, wait a minute. So you managed to run the 2 girls who were best friends.
Yes.
But wait, your current girlfriend or the other girl?
Both.
Hold on. But which one knew about the other one?
Oh, my current girlfriend knew.
She knew about the other girl.
Yeah.
So how did you? Okay, that's awesome. And then how did you end up deciding on the current girlfriend is like, all right, this is the horse.
Because that's the one I originally wanted.
I gotcha. Okay.
But what was crazy was like, I was really fucking with the other one though, because we eventually, we got to know each other and shit.
Right. Of course.
So, yeah, like, it was hard for me to choose, but ultimately I ended up being with the one I really wanted originally.
Yeah, that's super cool. So, like, what was the breakup like with the other girl? Because, like you said, you'd actually developed some feelings. You were dating the whole 9 yards. Like, how did that? It
was hard. It was hard for me to kind of like accept that I wasn't with her no more. It took me like like about a month or two. Where honestly, really like about a year, really.
Wow. Okay.
To like really like get her out of my system.
Dang. So that was not an easy.
Nah, it was not easy at all. That shit was hard as fuck. And I was the one that told her like, yo, like, this happened between me and so-and-so.
Yeah. Between you and your now girlfriend, yeah.
I'm the one that broke the news to her because I want her to hear it from anyone else.
That's cool. So by the way, are your girlfriend and the other girl, are they still friends? Or
nah, they're not friends no more.
I was going to say, you probably were the one who ruined that.
Yeah, I ruined it, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. We was kids. We grown up now.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn.
You totally do. Hey, that's a great story, man. Thank you so much for sharing.
Anytime, bro.
Life is funny like that. Such human nature that he had to go after the best friend to get the girl he wanted to take him seriously. No fun for the best friend, but sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. I think this episode may have the most stories of any on this podcast so far, so that's kind of cool. And we've had a little taste of everything from ghost to gross, and I'm here for it. There's so much about our collective experiences that paint the picture of a big, crazy, interesting, and at times horrific world, but we get to be on this ride. Here's to gratitude that we are all on this adventure together. May the next couple of weeks be filled with mostly good stuff and some great anecdotes for the next time you're asked to tell a story. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.